Hello, everybody. I'm back. This is Goose, and you're watching On With the Show. And today's podcast was actually supposed to be yesterday's podcast. And apparently I had I'm still working on the sound issues with OBS and trying to figure some stuff out. I think some things kind of got moved around. I went to check my OBS audio, and it wasn't there. And unfortunately, I didn't have time to redo the podcast. So I just figured, let me just close it out. Let me just redo it. Let me just come back on today and redo the podcast because I'm actually, this is today's podcast. If you have not seen it, I got up and I started scrolling through news, and I saw something I thought was really interesting. It was basically this really weird thing that happened at the Astros Red Sox game. And I watched it and I'm like, oh, that's crazy. I can't believe that happened. Then I look for something, I looked down the news a little more, and there was something even crazier at the Brewers-Rays game, both concerning the umpires and what was going on. And I couldn't believe what I was watching, because that's the one thing about sports is you need to have officiating, referees, umpires, whatever, to be on top of their game. And we are now officially, I think, in the first full week of baseball. And we're watching some of the most craziest calls and stuff happening I've ever seen in the sport of baseball. I've never seen this before. And so, and I know what you're thinking, well, Goose, why are you talking about sports? Well, it's my show, and I love baseball, and I love sports. And so I'm going to talk about this today because I think it's worth talking about, because this is only going to, if we're in week one of the baseball season and we're already having issues with the umpire, what is it going to be like through the rest of the season? Because stuff like this is clearly the reason why we have instant replay and ABS and all this other stuff, because being able, I think, and don't get me wrong, I like the human part of baseball, where it's like, mistakes are going to happen and you got to kind of like roll with it. But this was bizarre. And so I'm going to turn on the OBS and we're going to get into this, because I cannot believe what happened during these games. So let's get started. So yeah, here we go. Let's get into this. And the headline reads, Astros player swings and misses at 3 pitches, walks on 3, ball 3, as everyone forgets the count. Apparently Cam Smith whiffed on the first 3 pitches. This is from Ryan Morick, published April Fool's Day yesterday. And let's get into this. Not even the automated balls and strikes, the ABS system, can explain getting on base after striking out. And this is not an April Fool's joke. Astros player Cam Smith swung and missed on 3 pitches of the plate appearance on Tuesday, yet still managed to work a walk. The count was 0-1, but on the second pitch, Smith whiffed. A throwing error by the Boston catcher Connor Wong on a stolen base attempt brought in a runner from third, making it 6-1 Astros. That brought the count to 0-2. With the error, it appeared everyone had forgotten what the count was. Smith then swung and missed on the next pitch, but nothing happened. What should have been strike 3. Smith then fouled off the next pitch, saw a ball, fouled off another pitch, saw another one in the zone, out of the zone, then fouled off one more. Then Smith took first on what was actually ball 3, which really should not have actually been anything. So yeah, let's look at the video here. It's almost 4 minutes long. I apologize. I'm still not sure if we worked out the kinks for the echo, but here is the. Me and Grant. Oh, yeah, there it is, and strike 1. So you can see here. Here's the count. It's 2 outs. The count is 0-1, which is no balls, 1 strike. It's the bottom of the 5th.
Eliminated runs and damage.
Sox got Watson now up the right hand of the pen.
And swing and a miss, and there's a throw, and ooh. Yep. Okay, so there's the score.
advance down to
And
third.
in actuality, the second baseman should have not even thrown home. The second baseman should have just held on to the ball after he saw that there was no way he was going to get him out at home. Because now you have the guy who stole base from, here it is. Let's start watching replay. There he goes. There's the throw. It bounces, and the guy automatically goes home. And he should have never thrown. Yeah, there's the error. And now the guy from second is going to third. The interesting part is, and they're straight three, a swing and a miss. So we should be out of the inning, and I don't know what's going on here. They call it a ball. They called it a ball. How do you? Okay, so there's the first foul. How do you call a swinging strike a ball? Unless somehow somebody missed something. I'm kind of confused here because you would think the catcher or the pitcher or even one of the coaches would have said something. There's another one. That's inside. So there's ball one. There's ball one that's now being called ball two. Oh my gosh.
2 balls, 2 strikes turned into a long
I'm kind of trying to figure out why, because let's look at this. The batter must have done the greatest sell job of all time. Because there's another foul ball. He must have done the greatest sell job of all time, because I'm sure he even knows that he swung at three strikes. And he didn't even bother to even go back to the dugout, which must have confused everybody. I mean, he must not have heard you're out because he didn't react to anything. Here's the next pitch. This one's down in the zone. So now we have ball three, which actually should be ball two, which actually should be a strikeout because the inning should be over. Nobody here is paying attention. And he fouled off another one. Like I said, I'm kind of surprised because this is what I tell my players all the time. You need to pay attention. What's really going on? Not even the scorekeeper, I think, is even like somebody must have tried to figure out what is not.
Just one. Here comes the ninth pitch of this at bat.
The ninth pitch of the at bat.
One hit tonight.
And there's the supposed ball four, which is actually ball three, which is actually a strikeout. And yeah, this is kind of crazy. Let's get out of this. Let's get out of the. Let's get back into this. So in total there were 3 swinging strikes and 3 balls, and yet Smith walked, and nobody on the field realized what was wrong. Nobody was paying attention. It says here, Red Sox manager Alex Cora did not seem to even know what had happened regarding the plate appearance during his post-game availability. Pitcher Brian Bello said he asked the umpire what the count was, and the umpire, Mark Wegner, admitted his mistake. I just watched the video. Wegner told reporters, according to the New York Post, I somehow didn't count the second swing one because I said the count was 1 and 2. It was actually strike 3. I've never done that before. I'm not happy about it. Just made a mistake. This is crazy. I mean, you go from a guy who swings 3 times and misses and still works out a walk. I don't know of anybody in the history of baseball who has ever seen anything, because like I said, I tell everybody to pay attention until the play is over. You pay attention to what's going on. This isn't even the worst part. Let's go into the next one. This is also from Fox News Sports, and this one is MLB umpire draws criticism and laughter for bizarre call during Brewers Rays game. Ex-Yankee pitcher Jabba Chamberlain levied the critique on social media. I don't know why he would do that. This was Ryan Gatos, also published on the 1st. This one is, let's just go down here. MLB umpire C.B. Buckner drew scrutiny and laughter on Tuesday night when he made a bizarre call while manning the first baseline during a game between the Milwaukee Brewers and the Tampa Bay Rays. The oddity took place in the bottom of the sixth with Brewers batter Jake Bauers at the plate going up against Rays pitcher Cole Seltzer. Bauers hit a liner to the Rays second baseman Ben Williamson, who knocked it down the ball, but rushed his throw to first base and it was wide. It was remarkably routine. As it keeps jumping around, because I'm going down. It was remarkably routine play by baseball standards, but Buckner ruled that Bauers didn't touch first base when he was tagged. When he was tagged, he was out. The replay showed that Bauers clearly touched first base bag with Buckner only a few feet away from the play, and the call was instantly overturned. Yeah, let's take a look at that one. That is, as I wait for Twitter or X to get me going here. So, let's go back. Yep, there's a hit. That was actually a nice play. And he threw the ball away. Yeah, luckily the catcher was there to back it up.
Never did make the move towards second base.
So what are we looking at here? Okay, so he gets tagged.
So he's safe. Heck of an effort by Williamson at second.
Buckner did not touch first base, and then was put out.
What?
So the call from C.B. Buckner is that Jake Bauers missed first base.
So how do you miss? That's a great question. How do you miss first base? You're running towards first base to make sure you hit first base. So let's see it. There's a throw. Oh my gosh. And he clearly touches first base. So, and the dude is right here. What is he looking at? What is he looking at? Let's take a look at it again.
Not that he made a move to second base.
Let's take a look at it again. There's a throw. And the throw is clearly bad. And he clearly touches first. What is he looking at? I got to pause this for a minute. What is the dude looking at? He's not looking over here. I mean, did we all of a sudden hire some umpires that got like ADHD and they're looking at the plate? Okay, let me see. Oh, what's that over there? There's the hot dog guy. I think I need to get a hot dog. Oh, what happened? Oh, I don't know what happened. So let's continue off of the bit because he's not clearly paying attention to the play.
Buckner was not even looking at the play.
Yeah. He's not even looking at it. And he's like, now he's trying okay. Oh, he's on. Now everybody's laughing. Yeah.
At least reviews available so you can get it right.
Let's look at this.
Everybody laughing at that call.
They're all laughing at each other now. It's like, what the hell are we doing here?
Text chain between those two guys.
Oh my gosh. So let's get Bauers was smiling. Bauers was seen smiling as he went back to first base, as was Brewers manager Pat Murphy. Rays manager Kevin Cash also couldn't help but smirk at the situation. Former Yankees pitcher Jobber Chamberlain weighed in, and this is so bad you just have to laugh. Something has to be done, he wrote on X. Milwaukee ended up winning the game 6-2. Bauers went 2 for 4 with an RBI. He hit a home run. Off Yogenis Gomez. I hope I got the name in the 8th inning to extend the lead. Yeah, this was bad. This was horrible. I cannot even believe that because he made a call on something he didn't even see. I think what happened was he saw the ball get overthrown. He turned to watch the ball and didn't even bother to look at the play. The fact that he even hit the bag. I don't know how you can make that such an egregious call. I'm going to close out OBS, and we're going to talk a little bit more about this on the other side of this. So just hold on. I'm going to close this out. So yeah, I don't know what was going on in those situations. I'm still trying to wrap my head around the fact that a guy got a walk after striking out. I have never in my time, I've never seen that in a Little League game. I've never seen that. The guy swings and misses 3 times, and yet completes an at bat where he walks. I mean, here's the craziest part. Let me just work this in. What would have happened if he'd hit a home run? I mean, what would have happened? I mean, there would have been. I'm almost thinking that the Red Sox would have had some kind of protest going on because, but maybe they wouldn't have because nobody did anything. An entire ball field of people. A stadium full of people. Nobody said anything. No, not an umpire, not a player. The pitcher didn't say anything. The catcher didn't say anything. Neither of the managers said anything. And there's the batter just like, I'm going to keep going. Yeah, I'm going to wait till he calls me out. Nobody knows that I struck out, but let's just keep this going. I mean, that would be like, let me put it in football terms. That would be like a team, a defense getting a pick 6. And then the other team turns around and scores another touchdown, which, I mean, does happen. But I'm meaning in the same play. In other words, and I know we've seen it where it's like a quarter, let me put it like this. This would even be even more, this would probably be better to understand. A quarterback throws an interception and the offense still is on the field and throws a touchdown. That's the best way I can explain it. The quarterback throws an interception, but the offense stays on the field and scores a touchdown. And tell me you have never, because that's the thing about football. Football is they have to be very clear when they use their instant replay. There would be no way if a quarterback went back through a pass, clearly throws an interception, and it's clean, no penalties, nothing. And yet the offense still stays on the field and scores a touchdown or a field goal. Or they score on their series. That would never happen in football. Yet for some reason in baseball, you get this weird event where the guy strikes out and is able to work a walk. And then you get this other game, and I, again, don't know what in the world the umpire was like looking at. Because he clearly wasn't looking at the play. And how he made a call on something he didn't even see, which is something I find even more egregious. If you're an umpire and you don't see the play, you cannot call it. You really can't. You have to point finger. You have to ask another umpire and if you didn't see, you have to do the safe thing and be like, I didn't see it. I can't call him out. I can't call him out. That actually happened to me one time in a play, in a game. I didn't see the play. I pointed to the other umpire. He pointed it back at me, and I had to call him safe because I didn't see it. And I wasn't about to call him out because I didn't see the play. That would have been even a bigger miscarriage of the game. All right? Yet clearly here, the umpire, C.B. Buckner, doesn't see the play. He doesn't see the play. And yet, for some reason, he calls the runner out. And I keep wondering why he didn't bother to ask another umpire. Why was his ego that, to the point where it's like, I can't ask another umpire if he was safe. So he tagged him. Oh, he didn't touch the bat. Okay, he's out. And then to his embarrassment, in the replay, it clearly shows that he did hit the bag. Then what does he say then? Because in the replay, you can clearly see he's not even looking at the play. I don't know. I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt that maybe he followed the ball and watched the catcher get it, and that's why he didn't see the play. he could have been looking at, like I said, he could have been looking at the hot dog vendor. He could have been looking at that hot girl in the front row. He could have been looking at any number of things, but he wasn't looking at the play. And I can't figure that out. Somewhere, somebody's got to sit there, pull him aside and be like, dude, you got to do better at what you can't just sit there and just be, and presume that, I'm going to say presume that, that because, and again, the first baseman he must have done a great job of just walking over, tagging him. Yeah, he's out. He missed the bag. He's out. He missed the bag. And doing such a great sell job that the umpire would buy it. Oh my gosh. That is outrageous. That's outrageous. And I'm like, I don't know if the players have gotten better at just selling their situations, like waiting for, if the batter standing there and the umpire if the umpire doesn't call him out, then he just stands there and I'm going to take the next pitch. This is crazy. It makes me worry because we need the officiating to be good, not just good, to be great in all sports. We need, when you're going to a sport and you're in competition, you need the officiating to be great. You can't have these half-ass calls. And that's one of the reasons, as I keep doing this, that's one of the reasons why I think someone like Angel Hernandez, I'm so glad that Angel Hernandez retired. He was possibly the worst umpire I have ever seen in baseball. And how he was able to keep his job all those years and make all that money all those years doing a half-ass job that he did is just astounding. And I think in the sport of baseball, we don't need half-assed umpires. We need great umpires that are going to do a great job and keep the game going and make it great. And we need that in all sports. All right. So I'm going to close this out. That's all I got today for this. If you haven't already, go down, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell for notifications so you always know when a new podcast hits YouTube. Share this out to your friends, family, and neighbors so you let them know what I'm doing here. Give me a big like on the video. Give me a big thumbs up and leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about this. And let me know if you think we need better officiating in all sports, because that's what I believe. We need better officiating in all sports. But until then, my name is Goose. You've been watching On With The Show. I will see you tomorrow. I will see you on the other side.